Hi guys, welcome back. This is Professor Hank, and in this video I'm going to show you how to keep a running total. So let's begin. So when you're keeping a running total, what you do is you go through a couple of steps here. First you start off by initializing an accumulator variable to 0, right? So accumulator, it's not a keyword or anything like that in Python. Instead, what you have is, it's a roll. It describes a roll, right? So this is a variable that's going to be accumulating your total for you, right? So you initialize that thing to 0, and then what happens is that you typically use a loop to do this, and you add a series of numbers to it one at a time. Again, using a loop, right? So as you add a number, the total keeps accumulating, okay? And once you're done adding that series of numbers to the accumulator variable, you're done. You've got your total. That's it. So let me give you a real world analogy. Okay, so you probably had that math challenge friend, or maybe you are the math challenge friend, right? And you need a bunch of numbers added up, right? And so your friend comes up to you and says, "Oh, hey, help me add up these numbers." And you're like, "Okay, fine, I'll help you add up the numbers. What are the numbers?" And then in your mind, you're like, "Okay, I'll start with 0, right? We'll be starting with 0 here. Okay, he hasn't given me anything yet, so 0." So your friend says to you, "Okay, 5." And you think to yourself, "Okay, well, 0 plus 5 is 5." And you're like, "Okay, give me the next number." And then your friend says 2. And you're like, "Okay, well, then 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay, give me the next number." And your friend says 3. And you're like, "Okay, the next number, 7 plus 3 is 10. And then you're like, "Okay, give me the next number." And they're like, No, I'm done. What's the total?" And you're like, "Oh, okay, here's your total. It's 10. Right? Well, just kept running total. Your brain had an accumulator variable that you initialized to 0, and then your friend kept giving you a series of numbers, right? They gave you a series of numbers, one number at a time, and you were adding that number to your total that you were keeping in your head one at a time, right? So that's an example of keeping a running total. Okay, so let's put together a flowchart to map out the logic in a graphical form as to how this might play out, right? So, you start off your program and you initialize a variable to 0, right? So you got your accumulator variable set to 0, okay? And then you go through and you say, all right, well, is there another number? Right? So you have a test, right? Add another number. Okay? And if that's true, then what we'll do is we'll get that number, get the number, right? And then add that number to total, right? And then go back and see if there's another number, right? And so long as there's another number, you get that number, you add it to your total. So you got this loop that's going on here, right? Just like in the example that I gave you about the friend, trying to help each other out by, adding some numbers together. But as soon as there's not another number to add, well, then you're done, right? Just like when the friend said, no, I don't have any more numbers, right? And so then you got your total. So I don't know, maybe you print the total to show it to the user or something like that. Okay, and that's really it. Okay, so got the accumulator. You have another number you want to add. That's true. Get that number, add that number to the total, and then go again. Right, just keep going until there's no more numbers. And once you've added all your numbers together, you're done. So let's take a look at a programming example. Right, so on the right hand side, I got the text editor from idle open. Left hand side, the Python shell, so you can see the output as we run this thing. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, there's a lot of different ways you can keep running total. Remember, the two things that you're going to have in a program that's trying to accomplish this is you're going to have that accumulator variable, okay? And accumulator, just a term that refers to accumulator, what the variable is doing. So this is accumulating a total as we continuously add values to it. Okay, so then we're going to have a loop in here also So remember what we were talking about with the flowchart was, so long as there's going to be another number to add, right? So the way I'm going to implement this running total is I'm not going to know ahead of time exactly how many numbers we're going to add together, right? I'm going to let the user control when we're done, similar to what the friends were doing, right? The friend controlled when they're going to stop doing the adding. So I'm going to use a while loop for that. I'm going to use a condition control loop rather than a count control loop. Okay, so while there's another number to add, right? While there's another number to add, well, that's equal to true. We're going to add some other numbers, right? Now, I'm going to need, a variable called another number, and I want to have at least one iteration of this loop, right? Guaranteed for my example. So I'm going to initialize add another number to add to true, right? Or another number to add to true. So this is a Boolean variable. Okay, so long as that is true and I'm initializing it to true, then we're going to enter the body of that loop. So once we get inside the body of the loop, what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask the user to give me that number. Okay, so we'll call it number. Okay, so number equals int input enter a number to add. Right? Or I'll just shorten it to say enter a number. Okay. So what that's going to do is that's going to ask the user for the number, convert it into an integer, and then store this number variable right here. Now, once I've done that, then I need, this is the first number in what's going to be the sequence of numbers, I need to actually add the number to the accumulator. So I can just do this. I can say total equals total plus number, right? Because whatever was in total plus whatever they just gave me is going to become our new total. Okay. Now, once I do that, I can ask them, do you want to give me another number? Something like that. So I can say, let's see, answer. I'm going to ask them, want another number? Want to add another number? Right? And then, the user will answer yes or no or whatever. And so if answer is equal to yes, then we'll set another number to add equal to true. Otherwise, we'll set another number to add equal to false, right? So if they answer with anything else other than uppercase Y, then another number to add will be set to false. And so then when we go back to the top of the loop, this test expression will be false, then we'll be done. Okay, so let's then go ahead and after we get past that loop, we'll print the total. Here is your total. Let's see here. So, right. So that's what we got, right? So let's go ahead and test it. All right. So now when this runs, that line executed, so total's got 0 assigned to it. Another number to add's got true assigned to it. So we got past the first, we began the first repetition loop, we got past that first test expression. And so now we're sitting right there, at the top of the while loop. So I'm going to enter a number. So I'm going to enter, 2, right? So once I do that, okay, that 2 was stored in number, and then I added total plus number, which would have been 0 plus 2, and then that replaces the 0 that was in total. So now total's got 2 in it. So now in the output we're at, want to add another number? Well, that's where we're at right here, this line of code. So then I'll say, yeah, I want another number. Okay, so when I do that, this is going to evaluate the true, which means that our Boolean variable, our flag, right, is going to be set to true. So then when we jump back up to the top of the loop, this is going to evaluate the true, and then we enter the body of the loop again. So we're at enter a number again, right? So this time I'll type 5. 5 gets added to what was in total, right? 5 plus whatever was in total. That was 2. So that equals 7, and that gets assigned to the total variable. And so now we move to the next line. Want to add another number? Yeah, I'll add one more. Okay. So guess what? Add another number to add is set to true. We go back up to the top of the loop. Test expression value is to true. We enter the body of the loop. And here we are. So I'll do one more number. We'll say 3, right? So 3 plus 7 is going to be 10. 3 plus the 7 that was already in total is going to be 10. And then that 10 will overwrite the 7 that was in total. Okay. So 10 is assigned the total. Now in this case, it says, want to add another number? Right? And I'm going to answer with anything other than y, but just to be consistent, I'll say n. Right? So when I do that, that's going to assign false to our flag variable, to our Boolean variable. Right here, that's going to make it false. So when we go back up to the top of the loop, this test expression will be false, which will terminate the loop, and then we'll move on to the print statement here. And we'll see, here's your total 10. Okay, there you go. Right, so again, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. Let me maybe show you one more, right? One more that doesn't have any user interaction at all, right? We'll rewrite this loop. Instead of using a condition-based loop, we'll use a count-controlled loop, right? So how about for number in, and I'll put a sequence up here. 8, 6, 7, 5. Okay, and then we'll say total equals total plus number. Okay, now I won't need this Boolean anymore. I don't need this flag variable anymore. I'm not letting the user control this anymore. Instead, I'm just hard coding in 8, 6, 7, 5. Right. So what's going to happen is that for each repetition of the for loop, the 8 is assigned the number. Right, and so then number plus total replaces total, just like with the while loop. So total is going to have 8 in it, and then the next repetition, 6 will be assigned a number, and then 8 plus 6 will be 14, and then total will have 16 assigned to it. The next repetition will be 7. 7 will be assigned a number. 7 plus 14 was 21, right, and then that'll replace what was in total. And then the last repetition, 5, will be assigned the number, and so then 5 plus 21 will be 26, and that'll replace what was in total, and then the for loop will be done, and then we'll print out the total. Okay, so let's go ahead and run it, and there's your total 26. Okay, one more example. Okay, let's let the user control this by asking them ahead of time. You know, imagine if your friend came up to you and said, "Hey, I need you to help me add together 5 numbers," something like that. Okay, so number of numbers equals, and the friend, we're going to ask him, you know, how many numbers how many do you want me to add? You know, let me know. Okay, and so then what we'll do is we'll use the range function here to control my loop. Okay, so this is going to repeat number of numbers times. Now in this case, I won't use the target variable in the loop, right? Because what's going to happen is I'm going to ask the user for the next number. Give me the next number, right? So I'm asking for it, right? So user's going to tell me ahead of time how many numbers they're going to give me. And then that for loop, count control loop, that's going to repeat that many times, and for each repetition of that loop, I'm going to ask for that number, and then I'm going to add it to the accumulator. Okay, so like I was saying, there's many different ways you can do this. In this case, Frank comes up to you and says, you know, I need you to add 4 numbers for me. Okay, so you say back, give me the next number, and then they say, well, 8, and you're like, okay, give me the next number, and you say 6. Then you say, okay, give me the next number. They say 7. Then you say, okay, give me the next number. And then you say 9, right? Well, that's all 4 numbers. They told you they were going to give you 4. That's all you're going to have. You don't want to hear anymore. So you're done, and you tell them what the total was. 8 plus 6 plus 7 plus 9 is 30, right? So, again, many different ways to do this. But here are the 2 key things that you need to keep a running total. One, you've got that accumulator. and 2, you've got that loop, right? So whether you use a condition-based loop like the while loop, which was the first example, a counter-based or count-based loop like this for loop like I just used here, you know, or whatever, okay? Or you don't let the user control it at all. You let the user control how many numbers are going to be in, or maybe you don't even have any user interaction at all, right? In the example right before this one, we didn't have any user interaction. Okay, it doesn't matter. You got an accumulator and you got a loop, and you're adding one number at a time to that accumulator variable. Okay, so that's going to bring this video to a close. If you felt that the video was useful, please consider giving the video a thumbs up, and if you thought that the video sucked, well, then you've got that thumbs down button as an option as well. If you'd like to see more videos, if you're interested in more content from the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. And as usual, if you're a student of mine and you have further questions, feel free to drop me an email or to stop by my office hours. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.